Women will destroy themselves trying to prove they are good people. They will keep swallowing their feelings, accepting disrespect, abandoning their boundaries, and calling it love, patience, or being a good woman. Then one day they wake up exhausted and wonder where they went. Maybe you did not lose yourself overnight. You abandoned yourself one compromise at a time. There comes a day in a woman's life when she becomes tired in a way sleeping cannot fix. It's not the kind of tiredness that comes from work. It's the kind of tiredness that disappears after a good night's rest. It's the kind of tiredness that comes from spending years being everything everyone else needed you to be. And one day, she sits quietly with herself and asks a question she has been avoiding for a very long time. Where am I in all of this? And that question, it can be painful because sometimes the woman who has been taking care of everyone else suddenly realizes that she has not been taking care of herself. She has been available for everyone else, but unavailable to herself. She knows what everybody wants. She knows what everybody needs, but she does not know what she needs anymore. She knows how to make everyone comfortable, but she does not remember the last time she felt comfortable being herself. And that is where, when she begins to understand that she has just been pleasing people, she has been abandoning herself. I think many women are taught from a very young age to be nice, be understanding, be patient, don't be difficult, don't talk too much, don't make people uncomfortable, don't disappoint people. Be a good daughter, be a good sister, be a good friend, be a good wife, be a good mother, all of that. And there is nothing wrong with being kind, okay? There is nothing wrong with being caring, okay? There is nothing wrong with being supportive. The problem begins when being good to everyone requires you to constantly be bad to yourself. When your kindness requires you to ignore your own pain, when your patience requires you to tolerate disrespect, when your love requires you to abandon your boundaries, when your peace depends on keeping everyone else happy, that is not peace. That is self abandonment. And I say this as someone who is also learning because sometimes we don't even realize we are doing it. We think we are just being nice. We think we are avoiding unnecessary drama. We think we are keeping the peace. We think we are being mature. But sometimes we are not keeping the peace. We are keeping ourselves silent. And there is a difference. A woman can become so good to understanding everyone else feeling that she forgets she has feelings too. She understands why someone treated her badly. She understands why someone disappointed her. She understands why someone did not show up for her. She understands why someone could not love her properly. She has an explanation for everything, but somehow she never asks herself the most important question: why am I accepting this? That's a question many of us don't want to answer because the answer may require us to change something. It may require us to leave. It may require us to say no. It may require us to disappoint someone. It may require us to stop being the version of ourselves that everyone has become comfortable with. And that is scary because sometimes people don't actually miss you when you change. They miss the version of you that was easier to control, the version that never say no, the version that always understands, the version that always forgave, the version that kept giving even when she was empty, the version that never asked for too much. And the moment you start choosing yourself, suddenly you are selfish. Suddenly you have changed. Suddenly you are difficult. Suddenly you are no longer the good person that we are used to. But here is something I have learned: being a good person does not mean being available for mistreatment. Being kind does not mean having no boundaries. Being loving does not mean abandoning yourself. Being patient does not mean tolerating everything. And being a good woman with a good heart does not mean you have to keep breaking your own heart to prove it. This message is for me too because I think there are moments when we all need to pause and ask ourselves whether we are living according to our own values or simply performing the role people expected from us. I'm saying yes because Ask yourself, am I saying yes because I genuinely want to, or am I saying yes because I am afraid they will be angry if I say no? Am I saying yes because I am happy, or I am staying because I am afraid of what people will say if I leave? Am I forgiving because I have healed, or am I forgiving because I am scared of being alone? Am I being understanding, or am I constantly making excuses for behavior that hurts me? These questions are uncomfortable, but sometimes discomfort is necessary, because the day a woman realizes she has been abandoning herself is not necessarily the end of her story. It can be the beginning of her coming home to herself. And coming home to yourself can look very different. It can look like saying no without writing a 5-page explanation. It can look like walking away from conversations that constantly disrespect you. It can look like admitting that something no longer makes you happy. It can look like resting without feeling guilty. It can look like having an opinion, even when everyone disagrees. It can look like choosing your peace without apologizing for it. It can look like realizing you don't have to earn love by constantly sacrificing yourself. Because here is the truth: the people who genuinely love you should not require you to disappear in order to keep them. You should not have to become smaller so someone else can feel bigger. You should not have to silence yourself so someone else can remain comfortable. You should not have to lose yourself just to prove that you are loyal. And you definitely should not have to destroy your own happiness just to maintain the appearance of a happy life. Sometimes we become so afraid of losing people that we don't realize we are losing ourselves. And what is the point of keeping everyone if you have to lose a person you are in process? The older I get, the more I realize that self-abandonment does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it's very quiet. It's the woman who has not done anything for herself in years. It's the woman who has stopped expressing her opinions. It's the woman who constantly asks everyone else what they want before asking herself. It's the woman who does not know that she likes, who does not know what she likes anymore because she spent so long adapting to everyone around her. It's the woman who feels guilty for resting. It's the woman who feels selfish for having needs. It's the woman who apologizes every time she takes up space. And maybe that is why the realization can hurt so much, because she eventually realizes she was not only waiting for someone else to choose her, she was not choosing herself either. And that is where healing begins. Not when everyone finally understands you, not when everyone finally approves of you, not when everyone finally agrees with your choices, but when you finally decide that your relationship with yourself matters too. When you stop asking, will they be happy with me? And you start asking, am I at peace with myself? That's completely different way of living.